Yeah, that's no. Most people don't tell me that's true. They're not. They're more like, oh, you might get killed. You might get that.
Yeah, they say, well, and then that's how they convince themselves. They see, because they kind of stare into the abyss, and they say, if I take the plunge, it's over for me. And then it's very easy for them to convince themselves, oh, well, I'm not going to ruin my career talking about this. I have a life. And it's like, okay, but you're going to lie. Like you're lying for money. Like, you know it's false. You're kind of coping yourself and deluding yourself because it would be inconvenient. So now you're a paid liar. And, I really sincerely believe you should just go and do something else. If you don't have the integrity to tell the truth, go sell hot dogs.
100% agree. But these guys are starting to get shamed now. Like, we're making some difference, like especially places like Twitter.
Yep.
So we should wrap the next couple minutes. A couple more questions real quick. Well, I'm going to go somewhere I disagree with you on. I saw you tweeting about JD Vance's wife. The kind of, I mean, I'm fine with people wanting to marry their own race, but I feel like in America at this point, probably attacking interracial marriage seems like kind of a losing tactic, in my opinion. I just want to know what your thoughts on that are.
Well, specifically with JD Vance, you have to understand that he was elected out of this milieu of this national conservatism scene. It's like a very specific sect of the right wing. And the reason he was chosen and his whole persona was built up that he would be an olive branch to like white people. That's why he was chosen, because he's from Ohio. He wrote Hillbilly Elegy.
I see what you're saying, because he was the white middle America.
Right.
They were selling him.
And so think about it this way. The Republicans are trying to get white, because white people are 80 to 90% of the electorate in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, and those are must-win states for Trump. So Republicans did worse with white people in 2020 than they did in 2016, and white people are determinative. So they said, how do we get the white people? They said, well, we got to get somebody from the Rust Belt, somebody from the Midwest, somebody that's pretty right-wing, and someone that can speak their language. We're going to get the Hillbilly Elegy guy. He's going to talk to him, and he's going to bring him into the fold. And so what I tweeted specifically about, because I didn't attack the wife seems intelligent, she seems charming. I said, what kind of values does he have if he married outside of his race and culture? And lo and behold, in his book, Hillbilly Elegy, he's very spiteful about this. Hillbilly Elegy, he basically says, the reason these people are poor is because they suck. That's what the book is about. He says it's their fault. And, obviously everyone makes choices.
Yeah, I mean, we make choices, but when you're born into it's tough. I come from a white area that's very poor, and most of them don't get out of it. They relapse from their parents. Their parents are drug addicts, alcoholics, and it's sad to see. I mean, you can get out of it for sure. It is your fault too, but it's hard getting out of those environments.
Well, and these towns have been destroyed by free trade and immigration. All the jobs went to China and Mexico. And, it's like, look at Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana was an industry town. They had a big factory. Factory closed, left, and the economy died. They went into a permanent recession, which is what happens when you lose all the employment. And now there's more dilapidated buildings in Gary, Indiana than anywhere else.
Well, the area I'm at, lots of the carpentry, which are fairly high-paying jobs, are getting taken over by Mexican immigrants now. Because they'll do it for half the price, and now the white workers are either having to work for less or work somewhere else.
And so... Well, and what that book is about is like telling people, it's telling the white people and Vance claiming to be a representative of them, saying, hey, I speak for the white people, and the reason whites are hurting is not because of free trade and the elites and immigration and political policies. No, it's because they're just not good enough. Like they're bad people. And he writes in the book something specific. He says, my people they're self-sabotaging and they're such losers. He said, it's no wonder everyone in my family married outside of our culture.
Okay, this makes a little more sense.
So he's saying, like, F my own people. I'm spitefully marrying a kid of an immigrant.
Yeah, okay, this makes a lot more sense explaining it. So
right?
I just saw it, like, I took it a little different, but...
Yeah, because I have friends. Look, I mean, I have someone that works for me that is it's a white woman with a Mexican husband. And look, it's not my values. I'm going to marry someone that's white.
Are you part Mexican? Or
I am, yeah.
Exactly.
My grandma didn't like that my mom married a guy who's half Mexican. But generally as a principle, I do think and we disagree on this,
Yeah.
but I think people should marry within their race, but it's a free country.
I don't think it's bad to by any means. I just don't think it should be pushing other people. I think
Right.
if you want to marry within race, there's nothing wrong. I think the funny thing is a lot of the minority friends, their parents push it really heavy on them, but
Yeah.
we get called racist. Like the Asians
Right.
I know, they'd be so mad. The Jewish people I know, the black people, their moms will freak out on them. But if a white person would never be like, "What are you doing bringing a non-white home?" So that's why I can totally relate your position. I just personally don't agree with it.
Right. Yeah, well, yeah, and that's fine. It's just a lot of people, they think it's like you hate other races if you are proud of your own.
Yeah, I'm
you know?
extremely pro-white. I don't dislike any other. I think everyone should be proud of the race. I think
Right.
black people should be pro-black, Mexicans should be pro-Mexicans. I have friends that are black nationalists, white nationalists. Cain Velasquez, a giant brown pride tattooed
Right.
on his chest. We're talking about earlier. He's a good friend of mine. It's just like, you should be proud of your race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to get into like the tech stuff, but that'll probably take too long.
Yeah, it's a huge
That's the whole. Maybe we'll have to do
thing to
another
unpack.
podcast because that's like another half an hour to properly touch into that. But hey, thanks so much, man.
Yeah,
Great,
man. Thanks for having me.
yeah,
Great
coming in.
conversation.